Hello, friends. Chapter 29, your primitive brain. This is the best news ever, that we have a prefrontal cortex that really is in the front. Animals don't have this. They only have the primitive brain, which is instinctual. We have the prefrontal cortex, which allows us to think on purpose, which allows us to think about the future and decide on purpose who and what we want to become. It allows us to make deliberate choices. Okay, so yay, this is such good news. It was so powerful when I understood this. And this is where the work is. Remember, the primitive brain is habitual. It likes to do things easy, doesn't want to do hard things, wants to keep you safe, wants to be efficient, seeks pleasure, those type of things, which we will do more in depth on future videos. Also, it's all those negative thoughts running around like wild animals that can now be understood, acknowledged, corralled, released, or changed. This is how we do that. We start using our primitive brain. Sorry, cut that. We start using our prefrontal cortex. That is how we start choosing thoughts to believe on purpose, start creating new habits. It's using this prefrontal cortex. Okay, so first thing, we need to be aware, because most of us were not aware of the thoughts that we have, and that the results in our life are really because of what we're thinking, which affects what we're feeling, which affects what we're doing or not doing. And using this prefrontal cortex is getting clear with these results that we want. It's knowing your why, your compelling reason why. And it's breaking that down. We have this big picture of what we want. These are our healthy habits. And it's breaking that down into bite-sized pieces. This is how you do it. And then it's planning, of course, is making that plan. Okay, but let me back up here to the watcher of your thoughts. Because most of us aren't aware, I didn't know my thoughts. I mean, no, I read a lot of self-help books, but I never had it in this context of how powerful my thoughts are. And because I'm doing the work now and becoming the watcher of my thoughts, knowing I have a choice, that's where my life is changing, where I can write the story that I desire, where I can work through my anxiety and depression, work through my overwhelm, because anxiety and overwhelm are probably always going to be a part of my life, but I can work through it, right? And so it's powerful to be able to have this thought awareness. So being the watcher of your thoughts is learning to step outside of yourself, step outside of those thoughts. To do this, you need to get those thoughts on paper. Sometimes it's when you're anxious, when you're not motivated, whenever. I used to do it every night before bed, 5 minutes, just write down random thoughts. And then I could look at those and be like, hey, do I want to keep believing you? Because our thoughts are just sentences. And this is where I was able to overcome my not good enough, because I really 100% believed I was not good enough. And that affected everything I did. That affects how I compared myself to others, and how I people pleasing and letting what people were doing affect me, and me wanting to control everything so that I feel better. Yeah. So learning what my thoughts, what I was telling myself, and that I had a choice, then I can start thinking on purpose. It's like, no, I am good enough. I am confident. I am effective in all I do. I am an influence for good. I am. And these are the things I still write every night so that it's imprinted in my brain. I'm using my prefrontal cortex to do that. It's powerful and life-changing. Okay. So become the watcher of your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You can step outside and you can choose new ones to help you get the results that you want. There you go. And that, making a plan. So knowing that we have a prefrontal cortex and that we can decide what we want to do, you got to have a plan. If you don't have an idea of what you want, if you don't have a destination for what your healthy habits look like, then you're going to keep going to primitive brain and keep doing automatic. You're going to keep doing that. To do this is where the work of creating that new motivational triad comes in. The work of creating the habits that you want, one step at a time. So now you know why you do what you do. You've got your primitive brain that only cares about today. You also have your prefrontal cortex. That's where you can plan. You can think about your future. You can become aware of your thoughts and choose thoughts that you want to believe. Challenge your thoughts. You don't have to believe all of them. Challenge them to get the feeling that you want, and believe in yourself. Okay. It's so amazing how our lives change and how we can get the results we want by learning to use our prefrontal cortex. So no more excuses, right? You know what you need to do. You can totally do this. You just need to plan time to plan time to figure you out, plan time to watch your thoughts. 5 minutes. I'm not telling you need hours. No, remember, 1% better is 15 minutes. Stopping throughout the day, 30 seconds. It's learning to do that. Like, it's much easier for me to stop throughout the day and say, hold on, I got a choice here. If I don't follow my exercise plan, what else could I do? Or if something comes on my schedule not planned, it's like, I have a choice here. Stick to my schedule or figure something else out. But just learning to stop. And with my emotions and all other kinds of stuff, it's learning to stop the negative thoughts. Because once those start, I go down a rabbit hole and it's no fun. So learning that thought awareness to become the watcher using my prefrontal cortex. Okay, you got this. Yay. More information for you. Knowledge is power. All right, you got this. Bye.